We're going to work through a calculation in Scratch. We're going to calculate how much money do we earn in a week. The formula for this is our pay equals the number of hours we work that week times our hourly rate. How much do we make per hour? So to do this in Scratch, we're going to first start out with an event. And we want to say when we press the space key, we're going to go down into the sensing block. And the first thing we need to know is how many hours did we work that week. So we're going to ask a question. And the question we're going to ask is, how many hours did you work this week? When we ask that question, it's going to store our answer in a variable called answer. So we can drag the variable out. We're going to use it. We can click the check mark, and that's going to show it up here. A variable, think of it as a box that can store one value at a time. And let's just do an example. So if I press the space key, it says, how many hours did you work this week? So if I type in 5, our answer variable stores the value of 5. If I run my code again and type in tree, it replaces the 5 with the value of tree. So a variable stores one value at a time. If we replace it, it replaces the old one with the new one each time we run our code. We need to do a calculation, so we need to calculate our pay. So to do that, we determine that's a multiplication problem, so we'll drag out the multiplication block, and we're going to take the hours that we worked, which is in our answer variable, and let's say we earn $5.25 per hour, so we'll just type that value in there. In the looks section, we're going to grab the say block, and then we'll put our calculation in there. And let's run that and see how that works. So if we typed in 1 for the number of hours we worked this week, our answer is $5.25. If we run that again, this time we're going to type in we worked 10 hours. So it puts 10 into the hours that we worked times 5.25 gives us $52.50. So that works really well if we always make $5.25 an hour, but usually people make different amounts per hour, or they get a raise and they start earning more later. So we need more variables. So we're going to go down into the variables section. In Scratch, when we first start a new project, it creates a variable called myVariable. We're going to rename that variable to something that makes more sense for our program. So in this case, we're going to rename it to hours. Okay, and when we ask the question, we're going to want to set the variable called hours to whatever our answer is. Now I'm also going to check the box so we can show our hours. We have another question to ask. The other question we need to ask is our hourly rate. So we're going to call that variable rate, and that's shown up there for us. Okay, now our calculation is going to change. This time we're going to store the hours in the hours variable. So we're going to do hours times, and then we're going to work towards storing the rate in the rate variable. So hours times rate. And then we'll go ahead and put that block back into our say. We'll use that in just a few minutes. We also want to set the rate to the answer to our second question. So we're going to say set rate to. We'll go back to the sensing area, and we'll grab another ask block. Our second question is, what is your hourly rate? And then we're going to take the answer to that question and set the rate to that. And then we'll put everything together. Okay, now it's time to test our program, make sure it's running properly. So we'll press the space key. How many hours did you work this week? We're going to say 10 hours. We earned $6 per hour, and it says we made $60. Okay. Now there's one more thing that can make our code look a little bit better. In the operators section, we're going to grab join. Join says join apple with banana. In this case, we're going to say join this week you earned, and the value is money, so we're going to put a dollar sign in there, and then we're going to move our calculation into the second slot, and then we'll put that back up into the say. Let's run this and see how that works. How many hours did you work this week? We worked 40 hours this week. We make $10 per hour. So 40 times 10 is $400. You earned $400 this week. Now, down in the description, you'll see a link to some more activities and calculations that you can do on your own or that your teacher can assign you to work through. The best way to get better at coding is to practice and try some things and try some more things. Good luck to you, and have a lot of fun coding in Scratch.